It's that time of year again, and wheat harvest is under full swing. We have all seen farmers harvesting wheat in their fields and then driving their grain trucks into town loaded with wheat. They take the wheat to the local elevator where the wheat is examined and tested in three different ways: for shrinkage, grading factors, and the presence of disease. I've worked at an elevator for the past 5 years where I've performed many of these tests. One of the first tests performed as soon as a sample is taken from a load of grain is moisture. All of these tests determine what a farmer is to be paid for their load of wheat after formulas and calculations have been made according to the results. Moisture is expressed as a percentage, and it basically tells what percentage moisture is content in the wheat. The standard for wheat is 13.5%, where that is considered the wheat is to be dry. A bushel of wheat at 13.5% moisture would weigh 60 pounds. This standard is used so that volume calculations can be made to determine an accurate amount of bushels. As the moisture decreases, the kernels shrink and they are able to pack together more, therefore increasing the test weight, otherwise known as the density. The density or test weight can be decreased by factors like drought and nutrient deficiencies. Both moisture and test weight go into the factors that produce the amount of shrinkage. The shrinkage is the amount of weight that will be lost during mechanical drying. This is then figured into a formula, and a farmer is docked upon a percentage of their amount of the load. This is according to Rankin, published in 2011. The next test we would always perform had to do with grading factors. These were based on shrunken and broken, foreign material, dockage, and heat damage. We would have a kicker, which would be a large machine. There's a picture of one in my PowerPoint. And we would send through 1,000 grams of wheat, and it would turn it on the kicker, and it would filter it through many pans and eventually divide out the shrunken and broken, foreign material, and dockage. Shrunken and broken are kernels that are not plump, but rather shrunken, or they can also be partial pieces of kernel, therefore hinting at the broken part. Foreign material is anything other than wheat that comes in the sample. And dockage is extremely small pieces of broken kernels. Heat damage produces streaks of black on the kernel and is caused by extreme exposure to extreme heat. This is according to the Wheat Flour Board. The third thing we would look at when we test wheat is the presence of diseases. The first disease I will discuss is scab. Over the past few years, scab has made a very high impact in the wheat price given to farmers. Many farmers would not be sure what they would receive for their wheat until their wheat had been sent in to be tested. I can remember farmers being docked up to 50 cents a bushel for scab being present in their wheat. It is caused by a fungus and can be identified when the wheat is heading out. It appears such as a bleached part, the part of the kernel has been bleached white. The scab spore is caused by scab spores, and they grow in warm, moist weather. Wheat infected by scabs is poor in quality and low in test weight and may contain mycotoxins, which can cause vomiting and muscle spasms in humans and non-ruminant animals. This is according to Virginia Tech, published in 2010. The second disease we will talk about is ergot. Ergot is most present grows in the flowering stage of wheat. In late spring, these mushroom-like spores germinate and are carried by wind currents onto the wheat. They favor cool, damp weather and occur in fields where the soil is low in copper. Herbicides and the spread of manure throughout fields can cause a disruption in the availability of copper in the soil. These hard black bodies replace the kernel in a head of wheat. This is according to an article published by Evans on December 12, 2008. The final disease we'll talk about is vomitoxin. I don't remember vomitoxin being quite a big deal in the past, but we had always tested for it. If farmers' fields were invaded by scab, they may wonder if vomitoxin may also be present. It is also caused by a fungus, and the best way to prevent vomitoxin is moisture control. Vomitoxin needs moisture at about 22 to 25% to grow. It is produced when scabby wheat is stored, and only 1 part per million is allowable for human consumption. This is according to Iowa State Extension and Purdue University, published on June 28 of 1995. In conclusion, we have discussed many factors that affect the wheat grain testing, such as shrinkage, grading, and the presence of disease. So the next time you're making your sandwich in your kitchen, just think about where that wheat came from and the test that it had to go through when it was brought to the local elevator to be sent on to make your bread. Thank you.